Hello, welcome back to my channel. Yes. Why am I wearing this? Not listening to anything. Not sure I was wearing that. Hello! My apologies for being late. Big up to everyone in chat here as well. Bit of a late stream, but that's alright, guys. Because it's Monday. Midweek football. Hey, midweek Premier League football. You get quickfire now. Big up Rosa. Subscribe, like, subscribe, do all of that. Chelsea. Hey, big up the Chelsea. Big up the Chelsea, guys. Because, draw. I mean, that's just the perfect result for us, if you ask me. We needed a draw. That's what we needed from that fixture. Because we don't want Arsenal being too far ahead. We don't want Chelsea to be a title contender. Because if Chelsea is a title contender, they actually have a chance to win it. And we need to be close enough to Arsenal to catch up with them. Otherwise, we don't do it. So, hey, big up the Chelsea, bro. Big up the Chelsea. Now, I'm just gonna say something, yeah? Before I even start this stream, before I talk about the game, I just want to say something. Bevel. Big up to Bevel. We are the 1894 group. And a lot of other Man City fans, groups, the club itself has helped with a charity that we've done. Well, not we've, but you know what I mean. Has helped with a charity that Bevel has set up. And big up to Bevel for all the work he's done into this. And all the research Bevel has done for this. And big up to all the people who have sponsored, yeah. They have gathered, get this, 150 toys for, well, plushies should I say, for children on Christmas who would otherwise not have had a toy. That is a small YouTube channel that has done that. 150 toys for children who otherwise would have not had anything for Christmas. Big up to everyone involved with that, and big up to Not In My Lifetime podcast. That's the channel Bevel co-owns. That is massive, I think, and I just wanted to speak about that before the game. I think that's a very beautiful thing to have done, and I'm glad that Man City can be the first Premier League team to have done this. So, with that said, let's actually get into this preview. Elliot Anderson followed Man City on Instagram. Hey, bro. It might actually be real. We are not coping, guys. We might actually be back. You know, we thought we were coping. We thought we thought we were looking for something where there was nothing to be found, but maybe, guys, maybe. We might just be in, guys. I'm gonna be honest. I think we could have a good time. I think we could have a really good time because Elliot Anderson has come out with a statement. I suppose this has nothing to do with the Fulham game, but we can discuss it anyways. Elliot Anderson has come out with a statement, and he said he wants Man City. He wants Man City. He has already said he wants City. With not even December. Well, we are December now. When he said that, it was still November. Guys, I think we might be back. We are getting Anderson. Looks like it. Anderson hype is real, bro. Anderson hype is real. Get excited, people. Get excited. Cause I thought it was scope. I thought it's not happening. I thought another midfielder people just want but haven't watched. Bro, I can't lie. I watched Anderson last weekend and I was like, oh, I wish we had that right now. And after that game, Elliot Anderson decided, you know what? I'm gonna just come out and say it. I want to play for Man City. Baller. Baller chooses us. And it's no surprise a player who is my age, I think he's actually exactly the same age as me. A player of my age grew up on Man City success, bro. I'm just saying. these younger English footballers, they don't dream of Man United. They don't dream of Arsenal. They dream of us. Because they grew up on us winning everything. I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. Don't look too deep into it, maybe, but I'm just saying. Anderson massively upgrades our weak midfield. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I mean, I prefer Kovacic. I'm not gonna lie. I think Kovacic, not long term, of course, but like, I think Kovacic is such a good player, but he's dumb. Let's be honest. He's had calcification in his ankle after a major injury to his ankle. He's dumb. Let's be honest. So if you've never had calcification, I've had it. It's yikes. I have had like very, like, well, what do you call it? Not bad, because I've broken a lot of fingers and bones in my body, and that's when calcification happens, when you like break something. And you get it. I can tell you, it hurts, and if you've got major enough case to need surgery, hey, Rodri ain't coming back anytime soon. Probably leaving next summer or for free the year after. Nah. Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna win a league title, and I'm gonna talk about how we're gonna do it soon. Big up to Tausif, by the way. We're gonna win a league title. I'm gonna tell you guys how we're gonna do it soon. And Rodri is gonna say, you know what? Sign me up for another year or two. That's what he's gonna do. Hello, big up to him. Ajax FC Groningen got suspended. That's interesting. I had to say to Michael, Igor Thiago is better than Alexander Isak. Yeah. Not too sure about that. I mean, Isak is an average striker. I think Igor Thiago is exactly the place where he needs to be. He's Ivan Toney. Ivan Toney would have not worked at a big club. Igor Thiago is exactly at the place he needs to be to succeed. What's Charity Man City? So it was a big charity event where we tried to gather as many plushies as possible for Christmas. And it's you donate the plushies, and through a charity, I'm not sure on specifics, I'd have to ask Bevo, but through a charity, it's going to go to children who otherwise would have been less fortunate for Christmas. Not in my lifetime podcast, Luke, Bevel, that's a channel they do together. I had seen rumors of James Trafford leaving. Yeah, I'm not gonna stick too long on the transfer rumors, but it could happen. Will Rodri be available before next week? That's a good question. Let me check that. Let me check that quickly, because I have no idea, if I'm being honest. Looking up our injuries right now. So Rodri is out until the 6th. So let me share my screen here. And let me zoom in so you guys can read that. So Rodri is out until 6, 12. And the Real Madrid game is the 10th, I believe. Let me check. Yeah, the 10th. So technically he will be back, but that doesn't mean he'll be fit to start, of course. But on paper, he should be back. For Real Madrid, yes. On paper. Elliot Anderson, Hope Winter transfer, and Fabrizio Romano. Here we go, big party Belgium City fans. I'm not sure why Belgian City fans would have a specifically big party, but hey, take it. Real Madrid are free transfer FC. Hey, to be fair. Madrid fans are worried about every match right now, Teal. That's the thing. Madrid fans are worried about every match. That's how bad Real Madrid is right now. Yeah, did they not draw with Girona or something like that? Arsenal, beware. Blue Sharks, bro. It's in the background. We better beat Real Madrid. Their fans are unbearable. They always spam 15 UCL. To be fair, what can you... you can't argue with it, can you? Like if you're being completely fair, you can't argue with their logic. We're all jealous. Let's be honest. You, me, every other football fan, we're all jealous of the 15 Champions Leagues. Let's be honest about it. So, fair enough. Sometimes you just have to hold up your hands and say, fair enough. But when we spank Real Madrid, I don't think they're gonna care. So, and work with Man City charity. Yeah, it was... The club gave Bevel a plot to do it on, to collect the plushies. James Trafford could leave next month. It is possible. I'm not gonna say it's gonna happen. I don't believe there's been a good source to say it will 100% happen. But it is possible, yes. I need Rodri available for Madrid. Well, he's gonna be available, but what does that mean? How available is he gonna be? They said Rodri will be available for the Fulham game. And now they're saying... Oops. And now they're saying he won't be available. Like, bro, when is he coming back? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's Anderson for January or the summer. I'm seeing conflicting results. I'm seeing some people talk about January, but I believe it's the summer. If it happens in January, fair, but I doubt it. If I was a betting man, which I'm not because I tend to lose when I gamble, but if I was a betting man, I would say the summer. But I'm not quite sure about that. I've seen conflicting reports. I've seen some people say January, some people say the summer. Probably the summer, but we will see. We will see. Ajax FC Groningen gonna be replayed tomorrow at 2:30. The Blue Sharks are the Dolphins at the moment. Hey, doesn't matter if they... That's not a dolphin. Look at that. That is not a dolphin, bro. You can't probably even see that. This ain't a dolphin, bro. There's sharks in the Thames, bro. What was that shark species called again? I looked this up earlier. Are there sharks in the River Thames? At least 5 species. There we go. The taupe. Guys, we're taupe sharks, bro. We're taupe sharks. There's a fucking shark species named after drinking alcohol. Beautiful. No, this is us. And not blue enough. Let's see, we need a blue shark, don't we? Starry Smooth Hound. Ooh, that looks good. It's kind of blue. It's kind of blue, guys. Allow it. This is Man City, and we're in the River Thames, bro. Look at that. Blue sharks. Do not abandon hope, people. Now I'm gonna have this on my lap all stream, so I can say that we've got the blue sharks. Let's get into the lineups. After I talk about Semenyo. Yeah. It's happening, guys. It's happening. There are reports Tottenham wants Savio still. If we sell Savio, that's Semenyo paid for already. So, yeah. We will be there. On Wednesday is Bruges against Leuven, I'm aware. Jasper Vergoten referees that game at long last. Long last. Yeah, I reckon the same. I reckon they won't sell in January. But the thing is, yeah, for us right now, they're not gonna be in Europe. Barcelona wants Savio. I'll come back to that later. They're not gonna be in Europe. They're not gonna get relegated. They might as well. But, like, you know, if he's gonna bitch and moan about leaving, might as well. Because they'll have money immediately, and they can look for the new signing faster, and then they can integrate them this season and build up to next season already. So they might as well. They might as well. Had you seen out of the zone? I've seen, bro. Bro, the zone is a fucking joke. I can't lie. Smoothhound Sharks, bro. In North London. Smoothhound Sharks. Smoothmouths, whatever the fuck it was. Those Sharks, they didn't deliver Thames, apparently. Barcelona wants Savio too. That is actually shocking, I can't lie. If Barca gets Savio, oi. I can't lie. I got go Savio at Barcelona. Hey. If they're buying out scraps of us, I mean, they bought Torres from us, I mean, do indulge. Do totally indulge. I'm all for that. No, but not at the cottage. Right, let's actually get into these fucking teams. How about that? Let me actually stop beating around the bush here. I'll read your comments first, and then I'll show you guys my teams that I've built. I've built 3 lineups, and I'll show you all 3. I'll read this comment out first. No, Bernardo at the cottage, please. He can't handle the pace anymore. Bro, pace, physicality, can't handle it. And Craven Cottage is a tough place to play. Those small stadiums, yeah, when you talk about those small stadiums, yeah, they're intense. They're intense, they've got so much energy. But Bernardo can't handle that, bro. Not for 90 minutes. He can handle it for 30 minutes. Maybe even 45 minutes. Not for 90. No. And we've seen a lot last season. And now this season. That we start a game well. Seep off the second half. That is because Bernardo is playing a full game. And he's only got 45 minutes in him. That's because we're not making substitutions. That's because the players are overplayed. All of these things at the same time, and they combine. But Bernardo can play good. The thing is, yeah, he can't play good for the full game. So when you've got a full game with Bernardo, that's a problem. But this is what people do. They see Bernardo play well, and they say, he played well. Why are you criticizing him? Because he played well for 30 minutes. And then the rest of the game, he was exhausted and Pep did not take him off. That's the problem with Bernardo. It's not that he plays poorly per se. Because people talk past each other. This is what people need to stop doing. Some people say Bernardo is shit and he can't play good. That's false. Some people say Bernardo should be starting and he's been playing good. That's also false. When Bernardo starts, he plays good. Then we get to the second half. Bernardo is dead. And we have a worse second half compared to our first half. Take, who was it? Brighton, for example. Take Tottenham even. Take Leeds. Take, the name is slipping me. Leverkusen. Name slipped my mind for a moment. Take all these teams. You can't have Bernardo just playing full 90s. Newcastle, same story. He can't do it. He simply cannot do it. Not anymore. What about Marmouche in midfield instead of Reinders? Right, so I'll show you all 3 of my 11s now, and I'll explain my logic. So they're in no particular order, by the way. They're just in random order here. This is the first 11 that I've put up. And the idea here is Reinders, run. Just run, bro. I don't care if you're shit. Just run. Just run, brother. Because he will match out the intensity of Craven Cottage. Then Gonzalez, big man, strong man, 6. This man, run 60 minutes, 70 minutes, and if he gets tired, take him off, change him. That's the idea. Then Foden. Do I need to explain? Come on. I don't need to explain Foden. Cherky for the creativity, we're gonna need to create. Doku for the wing play, because Cherky is gonna go inside, Nunez is gonna come here. And I'm assuming we'll have something like this. But O'Reilly will push up a bit, so it's gonna be a bit like this on paper. So the idea is Nunez here for the width, Cherky coming central for the creativity. Foden can hang around Haaland, poke some goals. Doku can play on the wing here. If Doku is struggling, by the way, let O'Reilly overlap, bring Nunez back a bit, and then you can have Doku come inside as well, and then Cherky maybe to hold the width a bit more. Or maybe you could even push Rangers out on the width, if you want to do that, but then you take physicality away from midfield. So is that something you want to do? Maybe if we're struggling to create and we're dominating them, but we just can't create, maybe that's fine, but I'm not quite sure about that one. I think I'd just let Nunez. I think I'd rather do this then, to be honest. I just put Rangers here, let's Nunez push up, and Gonzalez come down a bit, so he can short up that defense. Rangers can continue providing his running, and Gonzalez is going to be hit quickly. Nunez also got physicality, or you can keep Cherky wide and let Nunez invert. I mean, you can do a lot of things here, I think. So, then my second lineup I've thought up. The ideas are very similar, but I've gone about... It's the same idea, but in a different way, basically. So here, we have Marmoush. Marmoush does the role of Reinders here. Marmoush runs. That's what he does, he runs. He runs here, he runs. That's the idea, he runs. Foden is gonna come down together with Gonzalez. Foden can play from deep, can distribute from deep, can sit on the edge of the area, pick off a shot when the ball comes to him. He can seek Doku here. Again, you can have O'Reilly push up, Doku invert, you can have Doku be the wide plate, O'Reilly stay down, Nunez. You can play with this. You can play with this, and you can change it in game. If you're doing this, let's say you're doing this, and it doesn't work. Okay, Nunez come back a bit, Cherky go wide, Doku, voila. After 30 minutes, if not, it's not working, you can change that. If this is not working, voila, maybe drop down Gonzalez a bit. Here you've got a problem though, because you'll have Foden in the 6. That won't work. So maybe instead you'd need Nunez to stay down here and Foden maybe to come on in here, or Foden to go wide even. You can't let Nunez push up too high if you're pushing up O'Reilly. Or maybe you can do the opposite. You keep Doku out wide. You let Gonzalez be here on the right back area. You let Nunez push up. And you've got something like this. These 3 central. Nunez hold to it. O'Reilly inverting here. And Gonzalez keeping this area safe. Works both ways. And you can do all of that, again, without making a substitution. One system doesn't work, switch to the other. It's that simple. I've got one more 11, but I don't really like my last 11. But, to be clear, this one is my favorite. This is my favorite lineup. If I get to choose, we play with this one. Yeah? Yeah, just to be clear. This is what I would play. But, last one. This is my predicted 11. Not what I want, but what I predict. I think Foden is going to go on this right wing again. Why? He played right wing against... who did he play? Leeds. That was a stinker. He played right wing against Leeds, and he came inside and he scored 2 goals. That is what he did. So I think we're going to see Foden here again. But I think we're going to see something very interesting if we play this way. You let Silva go down the right wing. And you let Foden invert. You let O'Reilly push up. And then you get something like this. And you get a stable back three. I think maybe you get that. So Foden inverts, Silva overlaps from midfield. And then Silva can go into midfield to defend again. Is that preferable? Not really. I would much rather let you just play with... I would much rather you just play with Rangers. Then. Or Nunez or something like that. But let's be honest. He will play. If we're being very honest. But Ronaldo will play. He's Pep's favorite. So he will play. That is the problem. But Ronaldo will play. He's Pep's favorite. But on paper, I think this should be fine. On paper, I think this should be fine. And Craven Cottage, you've got a bit of physicality there. Because this is the idea, right? You add physicality. Marmoush, physical. Gonzalez, physical. You can even force out Silva on the wing here. Keep Foden in midfield. Foden has more energy than Silva. Or you can start Silva in midfield. And when Silva runs out of energy, you put Foden here. Why have Gustinov at right back instead of Nunez? Well, Gustinov on right back because he's got more energy. He's gonna handle those counters better. Because this midfield will get played through a bit more than the previous midfields I've pulled up. So you want to have a bit more defensive solidity there. The trade-off is you've got more goals on the pitch. Goals, 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 goals. Occasional goal. Whereas here you've got goals from Marmoush. By dropping Foden further back, you don't get as many goals from him. Cherky maybe, but he's not a consistent goal scorer yet. You've got Haaland, of course, but you've got that in every 11. So there's a bit of a trade-off there. You get more goals, but you get less solidity. So you have to add in Gustinov to bring back that solidity whilst keeping those goals. Then the question is, how do you create without Ryan Cherky on the pitch? Remains to be seen. Remains to be seen. But I think that's our most likely 11 to see. Let's get to chat then. Fulham are trashed in the final third. Let's not do it. Come on. Yo. I was talking shit, respectfully. I was talking shit about Leeds. Then we played that game against Leeds. So let's not jinx this. Let us not jinx this. Why does Pep not try a 3-5-2? That's perfect setup for his style of play. Well, Pep doesn't do static formations. He used to do something similar to a 3-5-2. Especially in the treble season. He's always liked a back three. But here's the thing. Pep Guardiola likes his 3-2. When you're talking about a rest defense, the rest defense is who defends when you attack. Pep has always liked to have a 3-2. At Barcelona, he had a 3-2. At Bayern München, he had a 3-2. At Man City, he did not have a 3-2. That is why he wanted to buy Cancelo. So he could have right back, Walker, left back, Cancelo, and form a 3-2. That's the way Pep likes to play with his rest defense, 3-2. The problem is, right now, we're not playing with a 3-2. We're kind of playing with a 2-3. And the inversion of that, I don't like it. I don't really like the inversion, because you are gonna have more control over the midfield. And I think that's where Pep is worried sometimes. Maybe this is Pep's idea. He maybe worries that when we play with a 3-2, we're not going to press as effectively. Because teams just set up better and are more press resistant than they were in the past. So he plays with that 2-3. And what do I mean by that? But let me show what I mean. So This is a 3-2. What I've got here. Gustinov, Diaz, Guardiol, and then you invert O'Reilly and have Gonzalez. This is your rest defense. This is a 3-2. This is a 3-2. But what Pep is doing recently is he'd push this one up. O'Reilly might invert, or he might push up and someone else would invert. Doesn't matter. Let's say O'Reilly inverts, and you have this rest defense instead. And this is what I mean with a 2-3. You've got the 6, and you've got the 2 fullbacks here who are inverting. In the past, you would have had 1 fullback invert, and you would have had 1 stay back. This is what Kyle Walker used to do. This is what Cancelo used to do. Or Zinchenko. This is the 3-2. But Pep no longer plays that because teams are more press resistant. Teams are more capable of resisting the way we build up and are more capable of handling midfield play. Teams have gotten better at that. So what Pep has done is he plays Nunez instead. Let's go over to one with Nunez. Instead he plays Nunez. Let me push you guys up. He inverts O'Reilly. He pushes up Nunez as well. And you're left with this rest defense, which is just not as solid. And it gets even worse. Because when Nunez pushes up and you have Bernardo Silva, you can end up with a rest defense that looks like this. Let me push you guys up quickly. You can end up with a rest defense that looks like this. That's just not that. I mean, you compare this defensively to this, and you see it's night and day. Problem is, you'll have less midfield dominance. That is true. And teams are better at build-up play and are better at resisting press. All of this is true. But I think that's worth it. I think having that 3-2 and staying stable when you defend is so much so worth it. As opposed to what Pep has been doing recently with this 2-3 instead. This I don't like much. I really don't. Last season, when Pep started this in the 4-beat season, actually, if we're being honest. In the 4-beat season, when he had Kyle Walker playing as a winger and Guardiol playing as a winger, that's when we saw the first iteration of a 2-3. But then it was a 2-2, I guess, because it was Kovacic and Rodri together. And then you had a 2-2, which is even worse. But the 2-2 was Rodri, Kovacic, and Kyle Walker was able to recover because he still had some pace on him. So you were better, even though on paper it was worse. The tactic was maybe worse, but the players were better. So we got away with it. Now I mean, Gonzalez, respectfully, is not prime Rodri. O'Reilly, respectfully, is not prime. Well, O'Reilly, respectfully, is not Kovacic. He's a better player, even than Kovacic, I'd say. But that midfield job Kovacic did, he's not as good. Silva, respectfully, not all that anymore. And Diaz Akanji, I think it was for most of that season, the 4-beat, was probably worse than Guardiol Diaz. But the thing is that the back two is better. But when you had Rodri and Kovacic here, this was better. And we had more players in the attack. Better players in the attack, by the way. Which meant we were just pressing. And you could not get out anyhow. But now we can't do that. If we play this way now, we get killed without current players. So we have to drop someone back to be in this 2-3. But now Gonzalez is not prime Rodri. O'Reilly does not do the same in midfield as Kovacic does, respectfully. And Silva isn't all that anymore. Yeah, this might be better than what you had in the 4-beat, but everything else is worse. So that is why I preferred a 3-2, where you have this instead. You push this one up, Gonzalez, O'Reilly, and yeah, you're gonna lose control over the midfield. But who cares? We've got Foden, Marmoush, Haaland. We've got goal scorers. You can put Nunez on right wing, but I'd say a bit risky, since you'd have both right backs on at the same time. But that's the idea, basically. And I don't like the 2-3. We need Husnov, bro. Yeah, Husnov's been deported to wherever the fuck. Husnov's deported, but hey, maybe Husnov is a chess fan. Uzbekistan chess. It's revolutionary right now. Sindarov and the candidates. Hey, big up to my chess fans. Uzbekistan, bro. Golden generation of chess. If we fix our mentality, big up Vasco, by the way, we can have a good season. It's abundantly clear these guys are wavering mentality. Fix this and we will be fine. Guys, I have good news. Very good news. I will show you the good news. Let me show you guys the good news. Why the fuck does this picture have 5 pixels on? Give me a proper picture. That's the wrong one. There we go. That's more than 5 pixels. Beautiful. This is the good news. You want mentality? Win something. Oh, it's a Carabao Cup. Yeah, it's a Carabao Cup. That's more trophies than Arsenal has won in the past 5 years. That's mentality. Go win that thing. You go win that thing, and the beautiful thing is, yeah, that's in the middle of the season. You go win that thing, you've got mentality. You've got mentality, bro. Mentality monsters. Then you go close off that season, coming off the high of winning a Carabao Cup. But you know what Pep does, yeah? Pep is into like this edging kind of stuff. You're on a high. You just won the Carabao Cup. This is what football is about for these pro players. That medal is to show their children and say, look at what I did. I was the best in this competition at some point. And as you're on that high, Pep Guardiola comes into the room, tells you to pull your pants up, and tells you, season isn't done, go win the Premier League, because what you just did, it ain't all that. And now you're cock-blocked, edged, blue-balled, and you're thinking, fuck this manager, I'm gonna show him. And you're gonna want to win that Premier League more. Because you just want something, and the manager says, okay, now let's worry about the real thing. And you think, you don't believe me. You don't think I just did something. Let me show you. That's what the mentality of the Carabao Cup gives you. That's what it gives you. Carabao Cup is massive, bro. Mentality-wise, it's massive. My team, 4-2-3-1. Let's see here. Donnarumma, no argument. Nunez, Diaz, Vardiol, O'Reilly. Fair. Reinders, Gonzalez, Sherky. Sherky on right wing, Foden in the 10, and Doku left wing. Yeah. Fair. That's fair, I'd say. Pep will put Silva in there because he's legally obliged, but fair. I'd take out Reinders. I'd play Gonzalez in the 6. I'd play 4-1-4-1. And I'll take out Reinders, I can't lie. But yeah. I want Omar Marmoush to get game time, but how will he? Yeah. Good question. I like your first lineup. Last lineup with Bernardo is trash. No Bernardo. Gotcha. I mean, maybe you'd start Husnov. I suppose. Because Nunez did drop a bit of a stinker. Maybe you start Husnov and put Marmoush in there, and then you've got more creativity from Marmoush, and have more defensiveness from Husnov. Maybe you go with that, like master of all trades instead of jack of all trades. Like we have one master of each trade instead of a bunch of jacks of all trades, I suppose, if that makes sense. But Ronaldo ain't trash. He's washed, let's be honest. Apparently Omar could leave Man City due to playtime. Yeah. I would want to leave too if I was being brought on in the 89th minute for Bernardo Silva. I'd want to leave too. Marmoush is on 300k. What club is taking him? Probably a club that wants to win trophies, considering he scored 27 goals. These guys must deliver goals. I agree. We can't depend on Haaland alone. We saw it against Leeds. Sometimes Haaland vanishes. Sometimes he does. Against Newcastle, I don't think Haaland was bad. Against Leeds, I don't think Haaland was bad, but he wasn't up to standard. He was bang average against Leeds. Sometimes he'll do that. Sometimes you need someone else to step up. Luckily, Foden did. Is Foden gonna step up every game? Let's be honest, he won't, and I like Foden. So Sherky is gonna have to step up. One game, Foden. One game, Sherky. One game, Marmoush. One game, Doku. And then you've got 4 games already, and then Haaland can do the other 6. Yeah? Haaland can do the other 6 games. You just need to get those 4 games that Haaland is gonna be a bit less in, or sickly in, or whatever, to have someone else. Fortune teller. Hey, bro. I'm a wizard. You're a wizard, Harry. Arsenal dismissed the Carabao, FA, Europa, a League, Cup, and the Conference Cup. Bro, Arsenal dismiss any trophy they don't win, which is every trophy, so... They just want that golden kinderleg, don't they? 4-1, 4-1. O'Reilly, Gvardiol. I guess we don't have a goalkeeper. O'Reilly, Gvardiol. I'm assuming you put Donnarumma in there. O'Reilly, Gvardiol, Diaz, Nunez. Yeah, Gonzalez, Doku, Marmoush, Foden, Sherky, Haaland. Yeah. I'd do that. I don't think he will, but I think he should. But I doubt he will. I think Pep is gonna bench him again. Don't start Husnov. We need to start him against West Ham to rest Josko. Josko knees are going to go soon. Hey, Josko has been looking a bit shaky recently, to be honest. He might need some rest soon. But that's the thing, right? If you have a right back there, now Husnov can be the full-time backup centre back, and you can rotate Josko a bit more. Nelly will be out back up if Trafford leaves. Yeah. Not too bad. Ortega will be there as well. Which is kind of funny that we still have Ortega, actually. But we're gonna have a goalkeeper. I'm not too worried about that. If I'm being completely honest, I'm not too worried about the goalkeeper. We've got Donnarumma. We lose Donnarumma for a while. And we go to Ortega. He wants to leave in January. That's a bit annoying. Go by Dean Henderson. Hey! Dean Henderson, welcome to City. You can sit on the bench now. Congrats. Imagine Dean Henderson as backup goal. Rough. Imagine having goalkeeper pairing of Dean Henderson and Donnarumma. Oh, that's nasty. That's nasty. That's criminal, even. You should not be allowed to have that. And we won't. We won't have that, but imagine. So Henderson is such an underrated goalkeeper. I think Dean Henderson is the most underrated goalkeeper in the world. Most underrated goalkeeper in the world. Henderson is good at saving penalties. He's such a good goalkeeper. But if you go to a penalty shootout, by the way, and you got Henderson on the bench, bruv, you've won. You've won. I see people, by the way. I see people talking about Gibbs White would have been a better signing than Tijani Reinders. Now, I think Reinders could start this Fulham game. So that's why I bring it up. Reinders, not the best start. Not the best start. But I don't think he's bad. I think he's played good. A lot. I think he was great against Wolves. I think he was good against Tottenham. A bit worse against Brighton. I think he looked good in a few other games. But he slowly just regressed. But I've seen things in him. I've seen him play good. I've seen him do things. We've all seen him do things. We are lying if we say we've not seen him do things. We are lying if we say he's not played a good game. He's played multiple good games. Not one good game, multiple good games. But he needs to continue with it. I think right now, when Tijani Reinders comes off the bench, I think he looks fine. I think he looks fine when he comes off the bench. So I think he will probably start this game. But I think he should come off the bench. I think he looks fine when he comes off the bench. Let him learn. Let him get used. Let him get off the bench. Let him be the bench guy. Let him be the guy who, when you need to seek out a game or when you're trailing a goal, you bring him off the bench. Let him be the hero of the bench, basically. Because I think the thing is with Tijani, yeah? People just are absolutely killing him right now because of that poor start. Or not even because of that poor start, but because of that good start that became a bit worse. It's not been as bad as people say. He's just given an incredible start, and people are surprised he wasn't able to continue it. Which is fair. People expect him to continue as he started. Probably won't. That doesn't mean he's playing bad every game. He's played a lot of good games. He's played a lot of bad games. Most important thing for me is he's only here for 13 games so far, should I say. He's been here for 13 games. We cannot take the piss out of this guy because man was taking the piss out of Gonzalez. I still see people tell me Caicedo better than Gonzalez. We'll talk at the end of the season. Man was taking the piss out of Gonzalez when he first arrived. Listen. If you don't trust Pep with wingers, if you don't trust Pep with winning trophies, if you don't trust Pep with making substitutions, that one's pretty valid, to be honest. If you don't trust Pep with keeping his wife, if you don't trust Pep with any of those things, there's one thing you can trust Pep with. And that is a midfielder. Any midfielder that gets game time under Pep will become a good midfielder. Tijani is getting game time. Tijani will not be a Calvin Phillips. Because Calvin Phillips could have been a good player for us. But he was shafted to the bench, sidelined for much too long, and he crumbled away. If Pep had given him more minutes, if Pep had played him more, if Pep had allowed this guy to develop, Phillips would have been a better player. And I'm not saying Pep was wrong for not doing that. We were gonna win a treble. As Phillips was simply there at the wrong time. If we were not on course for the treble, Phillips would have had his chances. If we were not on course for the treble, Phillips would have been playing. He would have been improving. And he would have become a proper good player for us. We're not gonna win a treble. We won't be on course for a treble. Tijani Reinders is more experienced, has had more seasons under the belt, has done more in his career than Phillips. He's not gonna be the same. He's not gonna be the same at all. There's just so much that's different. So Tijani Reinders, I'm not too worried. If Reinders can start scoring, then I won't have a problem with him. I'm not worried about scoring for Reinders. I think we've got other players who should be stepping up, score. What I'm worried about with Reinders is just general performance. General performance right now by Reinders, not always the best. Sometimes he gives a really good performance. Sometimes he just sinks it out of the gaff. If Reinders scores goals, great. Extra goal scorer, then net. That's what the biggest worry I have for Tijani Reinders. I've got other worries for Tijani Reinders. Just play good, play solid, keep us going. Goals are extra. Goals are extra. Now, if you get the opportunities, you need to score them. If you get the opportunities, you need to score them. Whether you're a midfielder, winger, striker, if you get opportunities, you need to score them. But goal scoring is not my main worry for Reinders. Bro, nah. Phillips' career is done, bro. Not sure why he's still going about and all that. Your career is not coming back, buddy. You're done. He's done. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna... Genuinely, though. What is Gonzalez gonna do when his contract runs out? No team is gonna accept him. Like, on a real one. When his contract runs out, no team will accept him. Not good enough. He might as well retire, bro. I can't lie. He might as well retire. His career is done. Anyhow. His career might be done. Man City, it's not done. Man City is back, bro. But my score prediction... What am I feeling here, score-wise? It is respect Craven Cottage. Respect Craven Cottage, guys. But I think we can get them. I think we can get them good. I think this ain't the best Fulham team. In fact, I know this ain't the best Fulham team. But Craven Cottage. Respect it. 3-0, says Rosa. Can we keep a clean sheet? We've not kept a clean sheet in a few games. You know what? Back to clean sheets. 2-0. Clean sheet back on the menu, boys. 2-0. That's what I'll go for. So, with that said, like, subscribe, Alfred, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.